This is Cardmium Yellow, Hansa Yellow Medium. And this is Cobalt Blue Hue. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of the phthalo green yellow. That's pretty, right? Take a little bit from here and put a tiny bit of white in there. Now I have two colors in there, and I'm gonna do Ultramarine Blue in here, Vermillion on this one, okay, and I want to have a yellow, Hansa Yellow Medium on this one. These are the colors for today. So Titanium White, Cardmium Orange Hue, Cobalt Blue Hue, Ultramarine Blue, Phthalo Green Yellow, and Hansa Yellow Medium. And today we're going to just add the acrylic gloss. So I added 1 part of paint and 2 parts of the gloss medium, but it's still very thick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a 1 part of the Easy Flow. Let's see, 1 part of the Easy Flow. So this is distilled water, and I'm gonna try to add only a little bit. This ounces cup that I'm gonna fill in. I only have this 8x8 canvas left. I don't have any of the 10x10, so it's probably too big for these, but we'll see. So we are going to try to open it, and the colors were very thin this time because I think I overdid the water. Look how pretty. Less torched. I think I'm gonna bring something to put on the corners. I'm using this watercolor paper as my corner catcher. That way we don't waste the, let's see. It may have been too liquid. One more. Okay. Let's torch it again. Too liquid. It was too liquid. I add water, and I usually don't add any water. So I am doing a ladybug on top of this background that has been poured. It is tiny bit difficult to put the acrylics on top of these because it has a lot of varnish. And you see it doesn't grab too well. But what we're going to do, we're going to put a base coat. We apply the black, and this color that I'm putting is the primary yellow plus titanium white. And I am applying like a base coat of this color. Gonna wait until it dries, and then I'm gonna put another coat of color. And the remainder is gonna be Pyrrole Red. So this remainder is gonna be Pyrrole Red, and it's not gonna look pretty at first because you know these are transparent colors and there's that green underneath. So we're gonna do several layers of these colors. See if we can do a pretty ladybug in here. I'm gonna take the primary yellow with the Pyrrole, start highlighting this section. It's not mixing well, and it is making a mess. So let's see, you don't want to mix. Because of that background color, that background in there. So let's just put one coat of color without highlighting, or one base coat color, solid base coat. And then after this base coat have been dried, then we can play with other colors that we want to add. So what I'm gonna do to speed up, I'm gonna use a hair dryer, a blower. These are Americana Premium, so they stay wet longer. So for now, I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna use a liner to put those two antennas with black, and when we return, we're gonna continue. I don't like this section in here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to put some color on top of that to eliminate that section of the pour. Okay, this side is lighter, so I'm gonna take that yellow and add it to the Pyrrole and make a lighter version of the red. I'm gonna dry this because I have not dried it yet, because since it's not dry, it's making like texture. So I'm gonna blow dry and I will be right back. Okay, it's dry. I'm gonna put another coat, but before I do that, I'm gonna use this extender medium and I'm gonna apply that everywhere. I'm gonna use a clean brush to apply it. Okay, so let's start I want this section to be lighter, so I'm going to take the yellow with the red and put it in there. Let's put more of the yellow in this area. Okay, so the yellow in here. Tiny bit of this yellow in here. Okay, so the white on top of this yellow. Let's put some white. So I'm going to walk that white Whoa. Okay, let's go to the red and then that with the red in there. Take the red and the orange and put another coat on this side. Then take again the white okay, the yellow plus the orange, plus the red, I think I'm going to dry this and then we can put another coat. This is the red alone. I'm gonna finish putting this coat of the red and I'm going to dry it again. And this is the Pyrrole Red. I'm putting that yellow again in here. And I'm I'm gonna put the white, the titanium white on top of that. Reapply that black in there. Okay, so I'm going to dry it one more time with the hair dryer. Okay, so we are gonna put again the extender. And we wanna highlight with white these yellow sections. We're gonna highlight with white on the inside area. And let's put big chunk of white in here. I want it to turn yellow once it reaching here, so I'm gonna put yellow on top. And let's take, this is Vermillion Hue, plus a tiny bit of the yellow. Probably, yeah, Vermillion Hue in there. Vermillion Hue. So that we make that area lighter. Because this is the light is making the red lighter in that area. And then we mix with the Pyrrole Red. Pyrrole Red. And in this area, it is darker. So I'm going to add a tiny bit of the black to the Pyrrole Red. So I'm mixing the black with the Pyrrole Red and making a darker red. Tiny bit of the black will make a darker red. And we're going to make this section underneath darker. But then I even add a tiny bit more of the black and even make it even more darker. Even darker, adding a tiny bit more black, you see? You will see some sections darker. And this section also is darker. You notice that I am not even cleaning my brush. I'm blending as I go. blending in there. I think one more time I am going to dry this, but before I do that, I am going to take that yellow Vermillion Hue and I'm going to put a tiny bit on the edges of these. And I'm going to blend with the yellow. Okay, let's put the yellow again in here. Before I go to dry, again, I want to darken underneath her. So I have a green, so I'm going to take green plus black and darken underneath. Let me bring some green. So I'm going to apply some of this gel underneath this beautiful ladybug. And I have the yellow green and I'm going to add a tiny bit of the black. Tiny bit. And make a darker green. Even more of the black. And we'll have to do several coats of these. In this area which has orange, let's take the orange plus the black. Maybe a tiny bit of the red to make it darker. And we're gonna darken this area in here. I'm gonna dry these and come back and do some more glazing. Okay, some more of the vermilion in here. And Pyrrole in here. Pyrrole. Okay, so we are going to do the final stage of these. I'm gonna take a tiny bit of that green plus the yellow, and I'm just going to put it as a tiny cast shadow of the green here. Okay, and then we want to darken that a tiny bit, so the yellow plus the vermilion. And we're gonna darken the outside edges so that it start to be round, like that. With the yellow, almost out of yellow, and it is in here. Like that. Maybe it goes all the way in here as a highlight. Okay, so we're gonna leave the butterfly the ladybug as it is, and now we're gonna do another, repeat the colors again down here with the green plus the black, and the dark orange that we mixed. And what we're gonna do now is do some, we want to try to do some water drops too. So that is the cast shadow again, as many times as you need. And we are going to show you a water drop. So add the cast shadow with the green plus the black as many times as you need until you have it very dark underneath. Do something with this. So this is some of the green with the red to make it not a bright green. And I'm just gonna dull that a tiny bit in there. The red and the green make a green that is not as bright. And that tones down that a tiny bit because it was calling too much attention. Seems like if the head was up, I'm just gonna put a tiny bit of cast shadow also underneath of the head. So it is like that. First you have to do a shape of a water drop that you want to add. And you can hardly see this in here. Make a big one in there. Let's put the cast shadow underneath, again with the same color that we just did mix, with the green plus the black. Let's put a cast shadow. In there. Now we need to lighten that, so I'm just going to take that same green. I'm going to add a tiny bit of the yellow that we are using to make it lighter. And lighter green. We're going to put some white plus yellow. Let's see. In there, you see? Now on the other side, we need to darken, but not as dark as the cast shadow. So a dark green, but do not put too much black because it cannot be as dark as the cast shadow. So let's darken a tiny bit in here, like that. Can you see it? Let's put closer. So I'm gonna go again on the cast shadow. Okay, so this is again the cast shadow that I am darkening. And darkening the cast shadow. So there's one more step, and you're gonna take a liner and white, and you're gonna put a strong highlight. Gonna put one in here and a small one in on the top. Okay, so that's all there is for a water drop. Just gonna put one water drop, and I'm going to put more of the black plus the green and darken some areas in here. Still darkening that. Let's put some of the green Canino. Okay, now it's better. Okay, so I'm going to dry this, take a good picture for you, and put the video for you. Thank you for joining me. Please come back for more. Bye-bye.